Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I haven't put out a video in a long time, but I thought I'd give this one a shot because this is something that I've been missing on this truck for years. So you might remember this truck from 4 years ago. I did ball joints on it and for a death wobble issue, and that has been resolved. So haven't had a death wobble issue since, so that's been good. But one thing that this truck has had basically since I got it, definitely for many years, is that I barely get any air out of the vent panels on the dash. There's a vent for the back seat, seems to do okay, but barely any air out of the dash. I did some online research, and one of the things that people mention a lot is that there's a blend door that somehow breaks off and it falls down on top of the fan. So I checked that first a long time ago. That's not the issue. Blend doors all are in place and work. I replaced the fan, didn't help. So I had figured, well, it's going to require tearing the whole dash apart at some point. And I thought, well, maybe the only thing that I could think of is that it's the heater core is blocked somehow. But I came back to it again, was doing more research, and I found online that some people had mentioned that in the Mega Cab 06 to 08, I think, model years, there's like a nylon screen in the dash, part of the system, that's supposed to help direct more air to those back vents in the larger cab. So this, I believe, would have that. People's symptoms sound similar to mine, so I found a pretty good write-up on how to take the dash apart and get to those screens. So I'm going to use that. I'll link it, or I'll add the link in the description if anybody wants to take a look at that. That's what I'm going to use, but I'll bring you guys along. We'll see how it goes today when I do this one. So I can kind of show you what happens here. It's a little hard to demonstrate. So here's this is vent on setting number 1, this piece of paper. Not much happening. This is maximum. Now, actually, with a piece of paper, it looks like there's some air coming through, but it's hardly anything. For full blast, there's not much happening here. It actually looks like more with the paper than it feels like. Anyway, we'll try this again when it's all done and see if there's any difference in the paper test. Okay, step 1 is on the lower console here. Supposedly, this just pulls out. Oh yeah, here it comes. Okay. Oh yeah, it's got some little dongles down here that fit into these holes. Boy, this is dirty. I can clean this up while I'm at it. This one's also supposed to come out, I do believe. That one might need a little prior. Okay, now there's supposed to be some screws. I think 3 screws. Let's see. There's one here. I think there's one here under this penny. Oh, there's another penny under this penny. Boy, this is pretty grody. We'll get this cleaned up. Okay, I think I worked my way down to the nut here. Maybe. It's not in great shape. Not in great shape. Maybe. All right, let's see if this comes up. I mean, not exactly. I don't know, guys. My instructions point out 3 screws, but I'm not so sure. I can see there's another one right there, which seems to be kind of part of this whole situation. So let's see if I can get that one. It's a little harder to get to, but maybe. Okay. Okay, there we go. Screws going everywhere. So there were 4, despite my instructions saying 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I take it all back. The procedure was correct. There's 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3. Here, 1, 2, 3. The one I was working on back there is this little guy. That's actually, it was not holding this top thing down. That's the next step. So there's 2, this one and that one are the next step. So that's good. They'll be easier to put back. I'm gonna take this console and all these little cups over to the sink. They need a serious scrub. Okay, so step 2, as I was saying, is just that little guy and this one right here. Oh, then this comes out. Great. Okay, now it says this ductwork for the rear vents needs to come out. There's a piece that slides. Slide it towards the front of the truck, and the assembly will slide out from underneath the dash. This will need to be removed or will be crushed later on when you remove the dash. Okay, so they're saying this needs to slide forward, and then it can come out. Wow, look at this. This truck had a gray interior. I thought it was brown. If you look underneath here, think this bolt and this one come out. Okay, the next thing we're doing here is over on the driver's side. The knee bolster here needs to come off. So I think there's just 2 screws. There's one here, and then there's one underneath my trailer brake controller here. And then I think it's just a bunch of clips. So let's see if I can get this one. Okay, now I guess just a bunch of clips, so let's see if it'll pull. Oh yeah, comes right off. Okay, the next thing is this metal plate here. It's got four screws. They got a Phillips in the middle, or they're I don't know, something small, a 5 maybe. I'll see if I can get them with my Phillips screwdriver here. Well, there's a couple things on here. The hood pull is connected, and the OBD2 port is on there too. They didn't say anything about it in the instructions. Maybe it can just hang like that. Okay, well, the next step actually says to disconnect the OBD2 port from this plate, but it doesn't say anything about taking this off. So I don't know what that's going to buy us necessarily. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. I'll find out. So that, and then there's 3 connectors up here that it says to disconnect. I think this one back here for the brake pedal is one. This guy, this one, and this one. So I'll see if I can disconnect those little guys. Okay, this one's got a little red slide that comes back, comes out. There's one. This one, can't really tell, can't see it. Oh, it's got a tab back here. Pulls out. And then finally, this one back here. Well, let me take a break from that one. Think about that. Well, we'll look at the OBD2 here. What's going on with that? I don't know. It's got, looks like it's got little tabs on each side. Maybe. Maybe we're taking this out just so it's not hanging by these wires. I don't know. Let's see what we're looking at here. There we go. Okay. That does buy us a lot more space there. This one's just got two little tabs. It looks like you can do it from the back, but I thought it was easier from the front. All right, back to this one. Well, I'm gonna have to get a mirror. Let me get a mirror and look. Okay, this last connector back here, this little guy, turned out to be a real PETA. So it plugged in. Gosh, hopefully you guys can see. Hold on. Let me arrange my lighting here. Well, I can't. Anyway, this little guy, you can see, plugged in right here. This is right on the brake pedal. Let me see if I can show you with the mirror. Probably not. But on top, hold on. Let's see. Boy, this is going to be some crazy camera work here. Maybe. I think you can see. Okay, so see that little red tab? There's a little red tab on top of the thing. You got to pull it out. I had to use a pick with a hook on it to yank it out. It didn't move very easy. Couldn't move it with my finger. But you got to unclip that and then push down this clip on top to get this out. It wasn't very easy. Okay, it's getting real now. The next thing it says to do is remove 4 13mm bolts, which I believe are, you're looking at the bottom of the steering column here, by the way. I think it's 1, 2, 3, and one back over there somewhere. I'll have to get under here and really look. 4. And then the whole steering column is supposed to lower down, they say to the floor, although I pushed my seat all the way back and I don't, well, maybe the steering wheel will clear the seat. I'll find out here in a second. So 13mm. All right, first one. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna need an extension. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, it's coming down all right. Oh. I hope well, okay, yeah. Well, it's on my tool here. But yeah, it's basically on the floor. Okay, definitely some things to kind of watch out for when it's coming down. Once you take that last, I mean, it's kind of heavy and it just drops. So this, you know, this is tight. I'm gonna have to, I should have brought this out of this clip. Let me do that so it's not so tight. Okay, I think everything's okay here. There's a lot of sensitive little bits in here. I don't know how hopefully everything's okay. Here's that little clip I was telling you about. That little red clip right here. Now it's pretty easy to see. All right, great. Onward and upward, what's next? Okay, the next thing, we're under here under the steering wheel. So this aluminum bracket plate here was holding up the steering column, and the directions here say, with the steering column out of the way, you'll see the aluminum mounting plate. You need to remove two 10mm bolts. These two bolts attach the dash to the bracket and will need to be removed in order to take the dash off later down the road. So there's two little 10mm bolts. I'll take those out real quick. Okay, the next thing is to remove the parking brake cable. Let me see if I can, too many, I need a third hand here. Let's see. There's a little white clip. See that little guy right there? Somehow it unclips from that. So I'll just see if I can figure that out. Okay, so what you do is, here's the little clip. Basically you have to kind of, whoa. So normally it's up like this. So, and it holds this guy in this way. So you rotate it down and then you can pull the wire out that way. Okay, the next thing is this little side panel here. You gotta pop that off, and there's a couple of screws underneath. Okay, well, there's that. It's got these clips. It's a fighter. Oh, it also has, I don't know, you know, it hooks up underneath here and whatever. Okay, now, here's our bolts. Well, those are pretty big. Maybe 14. All right, these are actually 13s. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is pull these A-pillar handles off. They've got a couple of little covers that pop off, and then there's screws underneath, and then I think the whole thing should just come down. Okay, there's that. We'll do the other side too. Okay, now we're going to take the glove box out, and there's supposed to be a screw behind here too that we also need to get. So this should just squeeze in. Well, you know what? Some of my important documentation out of here. Okay, there's that. And it just kind of unhooks. Let me bring you in here. Let me look at the picture again. Hang on. Okay, it's actually, so here we are, glove box. There's this metal bracket, and at the bottom of it there's a screw. Actually, it's just right here. It's sort of underneath the glove box. You don't really need to take the glove box out to get to it. It's just right here. I think it's a 10. All right, we're still over here on the passenger side. Next thing it says we got to pull up is this carpet retainer thing here, and it also has kind of like a little push plate all the way up in here. So it says to start from the back and work towards the front, just prying it up. It's just a bunch of clips, I guess. There we go. Okay. Centering thing, a bunch of clips. That one's missing. Oh, here it is. Okay, we're in here. Under the glove box, just removed this panel. There's a couple of connectors here that need to be disconnected, apparently. Okay, I could not get these disconnected. Went back to the directions, have to actually read. It says you don't have to disconnect these. It says they just have to be popped free from this body panel. So we'll move on to that plan. I think they're just like little Christmas tree connectors back there. Yeah, and they just pop out. So there's the one. There's two. Okay, there's that. Great. And then there's this bolt right here. All right, now we've got this side panel on this side. Should be about the same as the other side. Bunch of clips. There we go. Okay, and then these two bolts here. Okay, this is where it sounds like it really does get interesting. We'll see. The next step is pulling the front piece of the dash. The instructions had a lot to say about this. I guess there's a bunch of clips. Try to be careful. It sounds like this is maybe brittle and easily breakable, so I'll just kind of take my time and go from clip to clip and try to get it out. Oh, so far so good. I'm liking this. Okay, there's all the front ones. And then, oh, so then you kind of pull it toward you. Okay. Yeah, so these front clips kind of, you know, they clip in this way. So you kind of go up and then pull it out. Nice, not too bad. Okay, and then I think kind of the last thing is, let's see, where are we at here? There's some screws. Ah, yeah, okay. Here, hold on, I'll show you. So there's some screws all along here. I think there's 5. They're a couple different sizes, but they're right up against the windshield, so I'll need the directions mention a swivel and a long extension. I thought that was because they were down in a hole, but it's actually just because they're so close to the windshield. Okay, here we go. First one here is just a little 8. Next one I think is a 10. Yeah, this one, I don't know. Oh, try not to crack the window. Woo! Boy, don't like the sound of the wrench on the window. Okay. Well, I think I get the idea here. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the little 8s and then 2 of the 10s. So I'll just do these real quick and then I'll show you what happens. Okay, I've gotten all those bolts along the top removed. According to the instructions, that's it. It should now be ready to pull out the dash. So the instructions have been pretty spot on, I have to say. And they mentioned that this is helpful if you have 2 people. I don't have 2 people, so I'm going to see what I can do here. So it says lift it up and bring it forward and lay it on the seat, which is going to be right where I'm sitting. So that should be interesting. We'll see. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's a moving. It's on the move. Oh yeah. Okay, it's pretty heavy. Hopefully I don't hear cracking because I forgot something. I don't know. It's kind of attached at the bottom still, I have to say. Did I forget something down here? No? So, yeah, you know what? 2 people would be real nice. Kind of feels like there's things holding it. See this? I guess it's still got some slack, but I don't know. Maybe it could come more. Let me look on this side. Oh yeah. You know, there's a big old wiring harness coming up to the instrument cluster on this side. That I might. Seems like that's got to be disconnected. Yeah, there's a giant connector over here. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's a real big one. It's got a bolt and everything. But I don't think it's letting this come forward any more than that. I can see it tugging. I can see the promised land back there, but I don't think I can reach it. I'm gonna have to take this out. Let me show you. Okay, so we're on the driver's side now, and dash is coming forward. However, you can see this. See that down there? This is tight, and it's pulling on that bracket. There is, so it's this big connector right here. That was not mentioned in the directions, but I don't see how this is going to come forward enough to get in there without it. So let's do that. Okay, we did it. These definitely had to come off. This big one and the little one underneath for this to be able to come back. There's still a couple of oh boys here, but this is what we're after right here. You can see there's some filters there. I'm going to cut them out. Just get them out of there, and we'll see what they look like. Okay. I gotta say, boy, you can still just barely get back here. This is a pretty involved job just to get access to this. My directions said, when you get to this point, oh, hey, comb, said, you know, now you know, this is what we've been working an hour to get to. This took me way more than an hour, at least two and a half. It's been a bigger deal than I thought. Anyway, here we are. I'm looking at these. These don't look that bad to me, but maybe they're worse than I think. They're bad enough anyway. Goodbye. What do you think? It's not that dirty. I don't know. Here's a screw. Oops. Well, anyway. Boy, I sure hope this helps, because that was a lot of work to get these out. Okay. Well, that's it. Now we just got to put it all back. Same way it came apart. Yeehaw. All right, this is about it. Got this all cleaned up. Last screw. Oh, well, we got it kind of cleaned up. Pretty cleaned up.
there we go.
Okay, it's all put back together. It went back together pretty easy. Took half the time to put it together than it took to take it apart. I think it took me about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to tear it apart, and it went back together in an hour, maybe a little less. So, did it work? We're gonna find out right now. Here we go. Setting number 1. Seems pretty good for setting 1. Oh yeah, there's a lot more air. Lots of air. I'm gonna call this a success. It's a big improvement. Actually, compared to other vehicles I've had on high that are like a lot of air, it's not that much. But you could barely even feel it before, and now it feels like, oh yeah, it's blowing. So, worth it. It was actually worth it. All right, well, hey, if you've got the same problem, this is a 2006 Dodge Ram 3500 with the Mega Cab. You're not getting any airflow. This could be it. Spend a couple hours. Big improvement.